leak. And no room to work. Welcome to old Jeeps. She needs some oil. So these old flat fender Jeeps, these old Jeeps, they leak. They leak everywhere and always. Now I'm sure if you spent lots of time putting in new gaskets and seals and all that kind of good stuff, that you could end up with a Jeep. It doesn't leak quite so much, but these things leak. And my reasons, or my belief, or my thoughts, that they leak for a couple main reasons. One, they're old. These things are 70 years old. And they don't get used a lot. And that's my second theory, that without a lot of use and without a lot of this oil getting splashed around and get onto those seals, keeping them pliable, these things just leak, and this one is no exception. I had to fill this up last year. I get a season out of it, so it's not a big deal, but they leak. So before I take this out, I want to get this filled back up. I think that possibly that might be what's going on with the Willys MB. I think that if you watch that first startup video, you might remember that the synchros were grinding, and initially I only had one synchro grinding every once in a while. Now I've got two synchros that are grinding, and I'm thinking that it might be because my oil level is low in the transmission. So when I get done with this, I'm gonna put some oil or some grease or some gear oil in the MB as well. This thing is actually low. I'm surprised. But it's low. Now, if you want to get into a shit show of a discussion on the internet, just pose the question, what kind of oil or what kind of grease or what kind of lubricant should I be using? The internet is just full of angry people, and they're most angry when you talk about oils, especially the forums. Now, maybe not all forums are the same, but my experience has been that on the forums, these guys just don't like talking about oils. I asked a question a few years back. I have a Yamaha RT3360 that I hadn't ridden in 20 years, and I've owned it since I was a kid. So I did a restoration on it. If you guys want to see that restoration, let me know, because I filmed it and it's all on another location. But if you're any interest in seeing what I did to get that RT360, that Yamaha, back up and running, let me know. I can start putting some of those videos up too. Anyway, so having been away from it so long, I went on to one of these Yamaha forums and I asked the simple question, hey guys, been away from this a while, what do you recommend for 2-cycle oil? Because this is an oil injection system. Well, you might have thought that the thunder had struck and the volcanoes were erupting and tornadoes were falling all around, because these guys just got all pissed off at me and basically said, we're not talking about oils. But it was angry. And for some reason, internet guys on forums are angry. Like I said, if you've got a different experience, just let me know. But anyway, and here's an example of some of the turmoil that goes on. So these old transmissions, there's a big argument right now whether you need the GL1 or GL4, and whether or not you should use modern high pressure gear oils. And again, the same thing. There are guys on the internet with these old flat fenders that say it's just bullshit, put any oil in you want. You got other guys that are going to swear by the GL1. Other guys will say use the GL4. You know what? If you've got an opinion on that and the data to back it up, go ahead and leave a comment for that as well. But I'm using the GL1 for no particular reason other than that's what they used back in the day. Is it a right or a wrong decision? I don't know. I don't know. But it's cheap. It's easy to come by. So what am I going to hurt by putting in the oil that they used, or the gear oil that they used 70 years ago? Boy, this thing is low. Oh, here we come. Oh yeah, she's coming out now. Okay, we're full. So I didn't take as much as I thought it would. All right, let's get that hose out of there. Oh, she's leaking good. Okay. Okay. There we go. And let's get that plug back in. There's no room to work. Oh, shit. Some guys put sealant on this. I have no reason to poo-poo it, but this is a plug thread. So it's tapered and it tightens up when you put it in tighter. Now let's go and put some GL1 in the transfer case. So that one is low as well, which I would expect because it does drip all winter long. Let's see how this can work. Yeah, this one's low. Put a new seal in this last year, new gasket seal underneath. And I don't know exactly where it's coming out of. But we lost a lot of it. Wow. Here it comes. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was. All right. Not as bad as I thought it was. Okay. It's not as low as I thought it was, but it does lose oil. And this is definitely well worth the time every spring. All right, let's go and do the differentials. Make sure those things are topped off. So I will be perfectly transparent about this. I have never, in the 8 or 9 years that I've owned this Jeep, ever checked the oils in the differentials, ever. Which probably should, because it does weep. So we are going to do it this year. Yeah, it's in there. Maybe just a bit low, but it is in there. I love these little pumps. Yeah, that's full already. Yeah. Okay, that one was not in trouble at all. Okay. That one was not in trouble. That's good. Let's go do the back. So in case you were wondering, the manual was pretty clear about it. I didn't want to do that. Oh, she's leaking, which means she has plenty. So the manual for the CJ2A, come on, stop, was pretty clear about what oil needed to go into the differentials. And until now, I have never seen any controversy on what oils to use. So I'm just using a standard SAE 80. All right, so that one is good. This one does not have any weeping at all. So as soon as I opened the plug, it was there right at the level. All right, so that's done. I have a lot of oil spilled all over this garage floor that I gotta clean up. All right. So before I start this thing up, two more things to check. I need to check the oil level, and then need to make sure that the radiator's topped off. So that leads a little bit. If you've been with me, then you know that last year, or the year before last year, I changed all the oils in the entire system, in the air breather system. I changed the oil in the sump, changed the oil filter, did all of that kind of stuff. So it should be fine for this year. I just need to make sure that there's oil in the sump. And oh yeah, she's got plenty. It's right up to the full line. So that is good to go. So the only thing that I need to do is add some coolant, antifreeze, to the radiator. So I almost never use concentrate anymore. Pretty much I just use the ready mix. Okay, so we used about a quarter of a gallon. Not that much. That's another thing I spent a lot of time on this Jeep when I bought it, was the cooling system. You can see all those videos in the library if you want. Did a lot of work on this cooling system, everything from thermostats to new hoses. Had the radiator tested, make sure it was good. Put a new shroud on it. New water pump hoses. We put this this felt liner that is supposed to be in here that helps force more air into the radiator. All of that's available on the channel if you're interested. Last year or 2 years ago, we also put a new fuel pump in it. This thing starts really, really nicely. All right, so let's see if we can get her to run. I've got it up on the skates right now, and I will probably start it on the skates to make sure it will start. And then we'll put it down and we'll take it for a ride. First ride of 2025. I know it's the middle of July. I have had a crazy summer schedule-wise, and getting to this has been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. All right, let's see what this thing will do.
Yeah, it's a hot day. I'm hanging in the sunshine. You should hit me with a splash gun so I cool down. Won't you come on over? We can party till the sun's down. Baby, let me buy you a drink while we're dancing a blink. I could go for some queen bee too. Bass is going boom boom. If you're looking for some crazy, I'll tell you everybody's standing in a line for the water slide. You can come on over, we can take the roller coaster. And you know everybody's looking for a ride in the water slide.
So that was first ride for summer 2025. It actually went pretty damn well. I was impressed. So if you remember right, we put the new fuel gauge in this past winter. That worked really well. We also reupholstered the seats. Those were really comfortable, much more comfortable than the ones that were in it. It drove well, shifted well, everything operated well. So that is the first startup of the CJ2A this summer. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go and see some of those other videos in the catalog where we do some other kind of cool repairs to this thing. Guys, I love you. And I will see you in the next video coming.